Workplace relationships can be challenging, and one of the most difficult behaviours to navigate is passive aggression. Unlike overt hostility, passive aggressive behaviour is subtle, indirect, and often disguised as compliance or politeness. Left unchecked, it can undermine team morale, disrupt communication, and create a toxic work environment. In this video, I'll explain what passive aggressive behaviour looks like and why people use it, together with strategies, including comebacks, to help you deal with it. I'm Jo Banks. I've been a professional executive business coach for 16 years, and I'm sharing what I know. Diving straight in, what is passive aggressive behaviour? Passive aggressive behaviour is a form of indirect resistance to authority or expectations, often expressed through stubbornness, procrastination, sarcasm, or deliberate inefficiency. Instead of openly expressing displeasure or disagreement, passive aggressive people may use indirect methods to convey their frustrations. Common motivations for passive aggressive behaviour include fear of confrontation, resentment, insecurity, or feeling powerless in a situation. Because it's often subtle and ambiguous, it can be challenging to recognise and address. Signs of passive aggressive behaviour at work. Passive aggressive behaviour can manifest in various ways in work. Here are some common signs. Number 1, sarcasm and backhanded compliments. For example, "Oh wow, you finally submitted that report on time. That makes a nice change." These types of statements appear friendly but contain an underlying jab meant to undermine or criticise. Number 2, procrastination and deliberate inefficiency. An example would be repeatedly missing deadlines, ignoring tasks, or producing subpar work as a way to resist requests without outright refusing them. This can be especially damaging in collaborative projects where teamwork is essential. Number 3, the silent treatment. For example, withholding communication, ignoring emails, or giving vague responses to questions. This behaviour creates unnecessary roadblocks and frustration within a team. Number 4, feigning misunderstanding. For example, "Oh, I didn't realise you wanted that done today," despite clear instructions. This tactic allows the person to avoid taking responsibility while subtly undermining the requester. Number 5, sabotaging colleagues. An example of this would be spreading rumours, withholding important information, or setting someone up for failure. This can be a form of workplace bullying disguised as passive resistance. Number 6, agreeing but resisting in action. An example would be saying, "Yes, I'll take care of it," but never following through. This is a classic passive-aggressive strategy to appear cooperative while subtly resisting. Why does passive-aggressive behaviour occur? Several workplace dynamics can contribute to passive-aggressive behaviour. Number 1, fear of confrontation. Some individuals struggle to voice their concerns openly. Number 2, workplace power imbalances. Employees may feel powerless to challenge authority directly. Number 3, unclear expectations. A lack of clear communication and feedback can lead to frustration and passive resistance. Number 4, stress and burnout. Overworked employees may express their dissatisfaction in subtle ways. Number 5, cultural or personality differences. Some individuals may have been socialised to avoid direct conflict. Number 6, some people are just not that nice and don't want to overtly show that, and so they do it in a passive-aggressive way. How to deal with passive-aggressive behaviour. Dealing with passive-aggressive behaviour requires a combination of awareness, clear communication, and assertiveness. Here's how to handle it effectively. Number one, recognize and validate your feelings. Passive aggressive behavior can be frustrating and confusing. Recognizing when you're dealing with it can help you stay grounded. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a step back and assess the situation objectively. Number two, address the behavior directly. While passive aggressive individuals may avoid direct confrontation, addressing the behavior calmly and assertively can help mitigate its impact. When doing so, use I statements. I notice that the report hasn't been submitted yet. Is there something preventing you from doing it? Avoid accusations. Instead of saying you're always late with your work, try, I've noticed a pattern of delayed reports. Can we discuss how to improve this? Number three, set clear expectations and boundaries. Clearly communicate expectations regarding deadlines, responsibilities, and workplace conduct, whether you're a manager or a co-worker of the person using passive-aggressive behavior. When people know what's expected of them, there's less room for ambiguity or manipulation. You are also showing them that you will not tolerate that behavior. For example, we need that report by Friday at noon. If you encounter any challenges, please inform me by Wednesday so we can address them. Number four, open communication. Foster a culture where everyone feels comfortable expressing their concerns directly. Managers especially can create an environment of psychological safety by encouraging honest feedback, modeling direct and respectful communication, and providing conflict resolution training. Number five, don't engage in the passive-aggressive cycle. Responding with passive aggression of your own will only escalate the situation. Instead, remain professional and focus on solutions rather than frustrations. Number six, document incidents where necessary. If passive-aggressive behavior is affecting your work or team dynamics, keep a record of specific incidents. This documentation can be useful if you need to escalate the issue to HR or management at a later date. Number seven, seek mediation or HR support. If direct communication doesn't resolve the issue, seeking help from a manager or HR rep may be necessary. Present factual observations rather than emotional complaints to ensure your concerns are taken seriously. Keep detailed diary notes of all interactions, including dates, times, witnesses, etc. If you wish to make a formal complaint at some point, the company will not be able to do anything about it without that type of evidence. That's absolutely crucial. Take it from me, 20 years in HR before I set up my coaching practice 16 years ago. So this is something I'm very well aware of. I'm very well qualified to speak on. Number eight, practice emotional detachment. Not all passive-aggressive behavior warrants a strong response. If it's a minor issue, sometimes the best approach is to remain detached and not take it personally. However, if it consistently impacts your work, addressing it is essential. Direct responses to passive-aggressive behavior. Here are 10 possible comebacks for handling passive-aggressive behavior in the workplace. Number one, I sense some frustration. Let's talk about it directly. Number two, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Could you clarify? Number three, if you have something on your mind, I'd appreciate hearing it openly. Number four, I'm happy to help if there's an issue, but I need a clear explanation. Number five, it sounds like there's some underlying concerns here. Let's address it. Number six, I prefer when we communicate clearly so we can solve problems together. Number seven, I get that you're upset, but I'd rather hear it directly than through comments. Number eight, if there's a problem, let's discuss it calmly and figure out a solution. Number nine, I can't address this if you're not being straightforward with me. Number 10, I'm happy to work together to resolve any issues, but I need your feedback to be clear. These comebacks focus on encouraging open communication and confronting passive-aggressive behaviour in a professional, constructive way. However, what you may find is when you call them out on their inappropriate, hurtful behaviour, passive-aggressive people will often reply with phrases such as, I'm only joking, you're too sensitive. When that happens, it's important to stay calm and assertive, but don't let it go because that makes that behavior okay. So here are a few good responses that can help address this type of invalidation by the passive-aggressive person. Number 1, I understand you may have been joking, but that comment hurt. This response acknowledges their intent, but emphasizes how it affected you. Number 2, I don't think I'm being too sensitive, and I don't appreciate that kind of comment. This helps you stand your ground without escalating the situation. Number 3, if it's a joke, it didn't come across as funny to me. This shows that humour can be subjective and helps express that their comment wasn't well received. Number 4, it's not about being sensitive, it's about respect, and I prefer if you didn't make comments like that. This asserts your boundary in a direct but respectful way. Number 5, I don't find that kind of humour funny. Let's keep things respectful. This clarifies that the issue is with the tone or content of the comment and not your sensitivity. The key is communicating how their words made you feel while maintaining your boundaries and avoiding getting further drawn into passive-aggressive exchanges. The wrap-up. Passive-aggressive behaviour can create a toxic work environment if left unchecked. By recognising the signs, addressing the issues directly, and fostering open communication, you can help create a more constructive workplace. Whether you're dealing with passive-aggressive co-workers, employees, or manager, setting clear expectations and maintaining professionalism will help you navigate these challenges more effectively. By taking proactive steps, you can ensure that your workplace remains a space of collaboration, respect, and productivity. However, if the workplace conflict continues to be a recurring issue, seek professional guidance through HR or a coach like myself can be really beneficial. I appreciate that in many cases HR can't or is unwilling to help. If that's the case, I have lots of guidance on this in other videos. I'll leave some links below. What next? If you have anything you'd like to add to today's video or you have any topics you'd like me to cover in future, please leave it in the comments section below. I read and respond to everything and really love interacting with you all. If you enjoyed this video, please support the channel with a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. Finally, thank you to everybody who stays until the very end, and thank you so much for your support. It really does mean the world to me.